Welcome to the London Youth Express. I am Renata Leuven, and today we want to talk about young people, and the topic is stuck. No hope, no future. Life used to be easier, and if you are an adult and you look back like 20, 30, 40 years, then you will probably agree that life was easier in the past than it is nowadays. Life has become more complicated, things have become more complicated, and obviously prices have been going up all the time. 20, 10, 30 years ago, it was, for example, much easier to get a job than it is nowadays. I remember there were times I just walked into an office for a job interview and I just got the job like this, without any problem, even without any effort. Nowadays, it's much more difficult. There are many and too many young people among us who feel that they do not really have a chance, no matter what they do. They have perhaps been diligent at school and in college, also in university, but they feel they are not really growing, they feel they are not making any real progress. I remember a young man, he was working in an IT company, and I don't know whether it was his second, third or fourth job, or maybe even his fifth, and he said to me, you know, I feel like I am going around in circles. This phrase, going around in circles, describes quite well what many young people are experiencing. They feel they are going through the same issues again and again and again. And this could, for example, be that they move from one job to another job with perhaps little or even no salary increase. They don't experience any promotions. They are never receiving any compliments on how well they are doing. They feel just being sucked out, just being used, working to make other people rich, and they are just in a condition which the acronyms of the word job describe, namely just over broke. And this is obviously quite a frustrating situation to be in, because as human beings, and especially as young people, we need approval, we need success, experiences, we need to be lifted up, and we need to see that we are making progress, that we are growing, and that we are developing, and that we are getting to a better and higher place in life. Unfortunately, in our society as it is now, this is not happening. I've been talking to recruiters, and they told me of a new breed of young people, the job hoppers. These are people who spend maybe a maximum of 3 months in a particular job, and then they just move on to another job, into a different role, spend a maximum of 3 months there, and then again they move on. They are never happy where they are, and they don't make any progress with their lives. This is not how it should be, but this is how it is. And it may be dependent upon cultural factors, upon which country, which city you have been born in, and where you work. If we look at the United States, for example, it seems to be very common that people are being promoted, that they move up into higher and better roles, and that it pays off for them if they stay long term with a company. In other cultures, like for example the United Kingdom or England, this doesn't seem to be the case or that much of a case. I remember one young man, he came originally from New York. He was a US citizen. He had moved to London. He had studied at Oxford University. He actually had a master's degree from Oxford University. He was working in a market research company. Then there was a job opening. He applied for the role, but he wasn't offered the role. Someone else who was in his and in many other people's opinion much less qualified got the position, and he was obviously quite frustrated. Stuck, no hope and no future is the life song, the life rhythm of many young people in our affluent society. And it is a difficult life, it is an unhappy life. And if we look again to the Chinese, one of the proverbs which they have and which is actually a curse says that may you stay in the same position or condition. If we are always in the same position, if we are always in the same condition, if our salary remains the same, if we walk always in circles, if we go through the same issues again and again, and I know what I'm talking about because this has happened to me, then life becomes a burden. Then we still dream about a different future and about a future, but we dream and it doesn't happen, it doesn't materialize, and obviously we get discouraged. And after many years of walking around in these circles, which are actually circles of death, we become weary, and one day we might succumb to this temptation to just give up. This has happened to many young people. They may have become alcoholics. They may have withdrawn from society and become kind of hermits. They may have turned to crime. They may have compensated or tried to somehow get rid of the pain by taking drugs. And this is a reality which we have to acknowledge and which we have to face, and which we actually have to deal with and to abolish. It cannot be right that young people continue to walk in circles of death, in circles of disappointment and in circles which are basically cul-de-sacs of roads that lead nowhere but to destruction. If we want to destroy people, then all we need to do is to let them walk around in circles, be always on the same level, or move a bit ahead and then fall back again, move a bit upwards and then move downwards again, walk around in circles, walk around in hopelessness, work hard, believe and dream, and never improve their condition, their lives and their situation. We got to abolish these circles of death. We got to really stop being insensitive to others, and we got to stop just with this attitude of not caring and not caring what happens to other people. And we got to give everyone, every young man and every young woman, the chance, the opportunity and the choice to move upwards and to move out of this circle of death.